What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfella with another video today. And I want to talk about, Carl Froch. He is retired, and I understand that he is a member of the media over there in the UK. But it seems to me like he's a little obsessed with Gennady Golovkin. Even right before he chose to retire, he's saying the kid was too small. He was this, he was that. I'm too big for him. And lately he's been saying his resume is thin. He needs to fight Andre Ward. And it seems like he's a little bit obsessed with Andre Ward as well. In the past, Ward got the best of him, but we'll speak on that a little later. But, for a guy that's retired, and I know sometimes people ask him a question because people think he's semi-retired. He's going to come back, as many boxers, do jump back in the ring after being retired. Some people just want to see that fight, and I wouldn't mind seeing it either. Carl Froch is still in boxer shape, get a couple tune-ups under his belt. But he's been on record, lately. The other day he said that Golovkin's resume is very thin, and you can't knock it. Golovkin ain't fought nobody. You know what I mean? He hasn't fought any elite or upper echelon or even any Hall of Fame fighters. In my opinion. He might have fought elite fighters in the middleweight division, but that's not saying too much about how the middleweight division is now. It ain't popping like it was with Martinez, even though he really wasn't boosting in. But, he keeps speaking on this man. If he has so many flaws, why don't Carl Froch just come out and make them M's? There's a lot of millions behind those numbers. Probably even 7 figures behind those numbers. Even more than that, fighting Gennady Golovkin. If he feels that he has so many flaws in his game, but he talked shit about Golovkin and then ran into retirement, and that's something I cannot respect. Even before he became a full-time media, he was talking shit when he still was an active fighter about the guy. And when the guy offered to move up to fight him, probably a borderline Hall of Famer guy. In some people's minds, I think Froch is a Hall of Famer. Once you take everything into consideration with the late start and all that, and what he accomplished, he ran off into retirement and keeps poking the bear. And that's like poking somebody, but they can't get to you. And it's very, very irritating. I know Golovkin just wants to, knuckle up with him and prove to him that he's a legitimate threat among the boxing world. He's one of the best. And, to get into the Andre Ward thing, he said the sport, won't miss Andre Ward. And I definitely agree. We won't miss Andre Ward. He really never did anything spectacular other than win the Super 6. And, nobody's, dying to see him fight. There's not a lot of entertainment value there, but Kovalev fight, it was entertaining. But if I'm Carl Froch, I just stay away from the bullshit. If I know I'm not going to fight him, I understand he wants to be his Howard Cosell, his motivator to do bigger and better things. But Golovkin is similar to me. You're not going to make him do anything he don't want to do. He's going to do it on his time. He's going to do it if he feels like he's ready to move forward and get it done. No matter how much criticism that you do give him, he doesn't give a fuck. He's going to continue to move in silence and do his thing and try to get that Canelo fight and try to, make as much money he can, until he's time to, his career is time to, bow out and tap out in the boxing world. And hopefully he goes down with a great career and he puts some names on that resume so he can be a lock for the Hall of Fame with no dispute. We gone.